Okay, so week 6, just quickly before I go into the keynote, I just kind of want to orient us where we are. So we're beginning the halfway point of the workshop. Jesse's face. I wish I had a screenshot for that. Now, as I said at the beginning, it is like a marathon. Everyone is going to move at different speeds. So don't worry about comparing yourself to the status of someone else's record. You might be surprised that on week 9, you write 3 songs in a week. So let's just all kind of trust that we're going at the pace that is right for us. There's plenty of time. These lessons, you'll have access to these lessons forever. So yeah, but we are nearing the halfway point. So just to kind of orient, week 6, which is today, week 7 and week 8 are going to be the last 3 weeks where I'm talking a lot about technique and offering generative tools. So there are going to be tons and tons of prompts in the next 3 weeks because the goal is to just continue creating as much as possible and shaping as many song seeds or song fragments as possible. Once we get into week 9, 10, and 11, we will get into revision, just nitty gritty revision, do punch ups. There will be the opportunity in study halls to punch up with me overseeing and to give each other feedback as we've been doing. So there, we're going to get into the kind of, the blood, sweat, and tears of really finishing the songs. I consider the generative phase to be a little more fun because it's so free and it's more it's more like an emotional release and I don't have to use my brain as much. Weeks 9, 10, and 11, we're going to get into some brain power to really figure out how do we take a good song and make it great. And then, Caleb, a punch up to me, that's what writers do when they punch up a script. They make a script. It's just slight improvements or tweaks to make the song more effective or more emotionally effective. So it might be something like, oh, your intro is quite long and it kind of loses steam before we get to the verse. What if the intro was half as long? What if you tried going right into the chorus? So oftentimes it's taking the pieces that are there and deconstructing or reconstructing. Sometimes it's as small as cutting out a word that's filler. Like, oh, you don't need to say and there, or oh, you don't need to say though here, or whatever. Sometimes it's very small, sometimes it's more major. So that's where we are. We have 3 more weeks of generation, and then we'll get into editing. And then we'll also start talking about like building visuals and how do you actually send your songs to the world once they're recorded. And we'll talk about demoing and all of that in that last month. So, okay, let me go into my shared screen here. And this week is really fun. I love the subjects we're going to talk about today. So we're going to talk about dreaming consciousness, like accessing a different state of consciousness than the version of who you are when you are shopping at the grocery store, paying your taxes, talking to your boss. We're also going to start looking at your track list and imagining what you might want to add to complete the record in these next few weeks of the generative phase. And then before we go into that, I just want to share 2 quick techniques. So 2 song techniques. This is one I love, and it's like a duet, but there's only one person singing. So this John Prine song, Spanish Pipe Dream, does it really well. You'll see what I mean. He is the only singer on the recording. She was a level-headed dancer on the road to alcohol, and I was just a soldier on my way to Montreal. While she pressed her chest against me about the time the jukebox broke, yeah, she gave me a peck on the back of the neck, and these are the words she spoke. Blow up your TV, throw away your paper, go to the country, build you a home, plant a little garden, eat a lot of peaches, try and find Jesus on your own. Well, I sat there at the table and I acted real naive, for I knew that topless lady had something up her sleeve. Well, she danced around the bar room and she did the hoochie coo. Yeah, she sang her song all night long, telling me what to do. Blow up your TV, throw away your paper, go to the country, build you a home, plant a little garden, eat a lot of peaches, try and find Jesus on your own. Well, I was young and hungry and about to leave that place when just as I was leaving, well, she looked me in the face. She said, you must know the answer. Or I said, you must know the answer. She said, no, but I'll give it a try. And to this day, we've been living our way, and here's the reason why. We blew up our TV, threw away our paper, went to the country, built us a home. had a lot of children, fed them on peaches. They all found Jesus on their own. So yeah, what I love about this is introducing a new character's voice can be so wonderful if you are stuck on a song. Like if you have a song that is taking place in a scene where there's two people involved, a love song, a breakup song, an ode to a parent or a sibling, could even be like a political thing. You could have another voice come in. This can be just a wonderful technique to unlock when you're stuck. So if you have a song that is in the early stages of development, maybe explore, okay, what if I put a voice responding to what's already here? So that's the first technique. And a prompt this week would be to try using this as a template to write a song in which the chorus is from the perspective of a second voice. And probably you could finish an incomplete song seed that way. So that's technique number one. That one's pretty straightforward. Another technique, which you will now probably start to notice all the time, is this idea of repurposing a chorus lyric. I don't know why I keep using country songs as references. I feel like because country songs the architecture is so clear and they're often such intense storytelling songs, these techniques are just incredibly obvious. But I have heard this technique, like Jenny Lewis does it in her songs, and the Eagles do it in their songs, and rappers do it in their songs. Like Kendrick Lamar does it in one of the, oh my God, what's the name of that song? I'll have to look it up. I can share it on the Discord. But yeah, this is a really common technique. So this song's called Don't Take the Girl. It's an incredibly cheesy song, but it demonstrates this very clearly. Johnny's daddy was taking him fishing when he was 8 years old. A little girl came through the front gate holding a fishing pole. His dad looked down and smiled, said, "We can't leave her behind. Son, I know you don't want her to go, but someday you'll change your mind." And Johnny said, "Take Jimmy Johnson, take Tommy Thompson, take my best friend Bo, take anybody that you want as long as she don't go. Take any boy in the world, Daddy, please don't take the girl." So we have the first meaning of the song, do not bring her along. First meaning of the chorus. Same old boy, same sweet girl, 10 years down the road. He held her tight and kissed her lips in front of the picture show. Stranger came and pulled a gun, grabbed her by the arm, said, "If you do what I tell you to, there won't be any harm." And Johnny said, "Take my money, take my wallet, take my credit cards. Here's the watch my grandpa gave me. Here's the keys to my car. Mister, give it a whirl, but please don't take the girl." So we've moved through time. The chorus now has a second meaning. Third chorus, same old boy, same sweet girl, 5 years down the road. There's going to be a little one, and she says it's time to go. Doctor says the baby's fine, but you'll have to leave because his mama's fading fast. And Johnny hit his knees, and there he prayed, "Take the very breath you gave me. Take the heart from my chest. I'll gladly take her place if you let me. Make this my last request. Take me out of this world. God, please don't take the girl." And then there's a little reprise to that beginning. Johnny's daddy was taking him fishing when he was 8 years old. Dasha says, such sad and beautiful lyrics. I know, makes me want to listen but to the bridge by Dolly Parton. Oh, that's a great reference. That would be fun to share on the Discord. Let me write that down. But so we all see what's happening here. We're moving through time and repurposing the lyric. You don't always have to move through time to repurpose it. You could repurpose a chorus lyric from different perspectives, like oh my gosh, I'm surprised I didn't use this as a reference. Bob Dylan has a song which is about war, and the chorus lyric is "with God on our side." And all of these different people are talking about their argument, and they all believe that they have God on their side. So that's a way of repurposing without moving through time. There's so many ways to do this, but once you start noticing it, it's like it's everywhere. So many of the most sophisticated songwriters do this type of thing. Okay, so the next example is Both Sides Now, which this also illustrates so many other beautiful techniques like internal rhyming. There's a lot of alliteration. There's some really beautiful key images. So let's just kind of notice the depth of what's here in the lyrics. Uh-oh, Dasha tears up every time. With both sides now. Get the tissues ready, Dasha. Um, Rows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I looked at clouds that way. Nathaniel, you need some tissues too. But now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds' illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way. But now it's just another show. You leave them laughing when you go. And if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's love's illusions that I recall. I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds. I've looked at love that way. But now old friends, they're acting strange. They shake their heads. They say I've changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all. It's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all. So this one just does such a beautiful job of changing that lyric. I've looked at clouds from both sides now. I've looked at love from both sides now. And then I've looked at life from both sides now. So I would encourage you, your prompt for this week is to play with these two techniques. Using two voices like Spanish Pipe Dream by John Prine, the first song, or you can use Don't Take the Girl or Both Sides Now as references to complete an unfinished song using this repurposing the chorus technique. So just add this to your tool belt. It will, I'm sure it will at some point make its way into your work, which will be really cool. So quickly, let's just look at our track listing. So let's start thinking about kind of the songs that we do have. I usually think about a record where there are certain categories of songs. So a single is like the song that most exemplifies who you are as an artist and what your work represents. These singles would be the songs you'd imagine, like if you could only play 2 or 3 songs for your record for someone, what are the ones that you would play in order to show what you're all about, what the record is all about? Ballads are usually the slower, more heartfelt songs. It's possible you're writing a whole record of ballads. It's possible your singles are ballads. It really can be an infinite number of combinations. I think about a dance track as kind of the upbeat, like a moment of lift in the record. Sometimes it's nice to balance a quieter ballad with a more upbeat song. It doesn't necessarily have to be dance to you, but just something that's kind of a mood raiser. Ditties I would consider to be kind of shorter, less dense, and not to say that they're filler, but they're often like less important, or there's a little bit less emotional weight to them on the record. It's almost like a palate cleanser. I think of a ditty as like just like a little scoop of sorbet between big meals in a restaurant. And then kind of more aggressive, a rocker song, like an aggressive song that brings a lot of intensity to the record. And then my favorite is something called the Zag song. I came up with this. To me, a Zag song is just, it's like the one song on the record that feels super experimental compared to the rest of the record. And I think it's such a fun challenge to try to prompt yourself to write, like try writing one song that kind of doesn't sound like anything else and just see what you wind up with. You also might start to notice as you listen to some of your favorite records, a lot of them have this one song where you're kind of like, huh, interesting. They really zagged there. So if we look at a record like, if we look at a record like Rumors by Fleetwood Mac, one of the most famous records of all time, I wouldn't say that there's really a Zag song on here. Maybe Oh Daddy is kind of a Zag song, but I kind of would consider it like this, like single, single, ditty, single, single, ballad. rock song, dance song, folk ditty, dance song, rock song. Like, to me, that's kind of how I'd qualify it. This is only important in the sense that I want you to just spend a couple minutes right now. Let's do 3 minutes here answering these questions. So, of the songs you have so far, what feel most indicative of you as an artist? So, for example, have you written the singles yet? And even if it's just a chorus, but you kind of feel that it's very promising, just write down the couple songs that you think are the strongest and most representative of who you are. So, I'd love to know that. Have you written the singles yet? At this stage of writing, we're entering halfway through the class. How many songs do you sense your album should be so every song is strong? So I would say at this point, if you only have 3 or 4 half-finished songs, maybe this class is to help you write an EP. And that's amazing. I would rather have you wind up with 4 songs you are obsessed with than 10 songs that you're kind of lukewarm about. So we can answer that question too. You don't have to share this. It can just be in your own notes. How many songs do you sense the album should be so that every song is strong? And then just draw a potential track list of what you're kind of imagining. See if there are any songs you want to write that you haven't written yet. Mood wise, do I need an upbeat song? Do I need a down tempo song? Do I need a dance song? Do I want just like a sweet little moment of kind of filler, like a fun little 90-second song? And then another great thing to think about is, how do you imagine people moving to these songs? That can help you quantify like what is a single, what is a dance song, what is more of a ballad. If you see people, relaxing in bed listening to your songs, that might be more of a ballad. If you see people driving down the coast singing along with their friends, that might be more of a single. If you see people kind of dancing around their room, that might be more of a dance track. So let's just spend like another 2 minutes here kind of taking stock of where you are and what you have. Okay, just another 30 seconds here. And I can also add this slide specifically to the Discord, so it's really easy to access. So if you're not finished yet, you can have time later to work on this. I think it's nice to just refocus a little bit halfway through the class and figure out what the intentions are for what you want to be creating in these next 6 weeks. So I love this quote by Joy Harjo. Once there were songs for everything, songs for planting, for growing, for harvesting, for eating, for getting drunk, falling asleep, for sunrise, birth, mind break, and war, for death. Those are the heaviest songs, and they have to be pried from the earth with shovels of grief. Now, all we hear are falling in love songs and falling apart after falling in love songs. And that's from her poem, An American Sunrise. Now, I will say, I highly encourage you to write falling in love and falling apart after falling in love songs. I encourage you to write whatever feels true to you. So this is not at all to knock songs like that. But I just love this idea of once there were songs for everything. So I would love for you to just do a quick brainstorm, first thought, best thought, come up with 3 song ideas. 3 song ideas. Oh gosh, I never wrote a song about what my best friend in kindergarten meant to me. Oh gosh, I wonder if it'd be interesting to write a song about my history teacher who made me a songwriter in the first place, or my English teacher who made me a songwriter in the first place. Oh gosh, I wish there was a song about the taste of a ripe plum in August. It can be anything like that. Just first thought, best thought, write down 3 song ideas that you have not explored before. This will be really quick, just 1 minute. Dasha says, I'm always so slow on these prompts and take more time at home. Totally, totally. Sometimes it's fun to be challenged, to have to move really fast. And then sometimes it's really stressful. So if your heart is racing, just take a deep breath and relax and wiggle it out. Yes, faster is definitely less filter. Okay, so we'll do 1 minute starting now. Okay, so moving on to my favorite thing to experience and to talk about. I really think that dreaming consciousness, like the state that you go into at night, is so similar to songwriting. I imagine that many of you have had this experience where you kind of are writing a song and you have a moment where you kind of lose yourself. Has anyone, maybe share in the chat, has anyone felt that, like either you feel like time has disappeared, you don't know where the time went, or you kind of are singing and playing, but you can't really explain exactly how the song came about. Like it kind of just came through you. You just had an experience. Have you, will you just share in the chat? Have you, yes, Ahmed says, I lose my vision from getting in the zone. Oh my gosh. Okay, Carrie's had that. Yes, awesome. Carrie, I'm so sorry. I know your name is pronounced Carrie. Whenever I read Kiernan, I want to say Kiri, my grocery bag.
Yeah, everyone does that. It's totally okay.
I'm so sorry, Carrie.
I never get offended with that, so you're good.
Yes. James said, dream states don't have a linear sense of time. Songwriting and songs jump all over the place. Ideas come out of nowhere. Exactly. Dasha, I close my eyes and feel like time disappears. Okay, so we get this sense of what this can be like. To me, it is one of the most ecstatic feelings that there is. It's like stepping above our regular day-to-day reality and being in a totally different world. Crystal says, totally. It's like when day turns to night and you look up and wonder, how did it get dark? Yes, totally. So a couple people say this way bigger, in much bigger and more beautiful ways than I do. So I'm just going to share a couple quotes now as nourishment for this, for what we're getting into. I love Robert Bly. Robert Bly has this quote, creative writing courses have willy-nilly supported the view that an ordinary state of consciousness is all right for serious writing. Stephen Herod Buhner says, to write, you must learn how to intentionally dream, learn how to let that part of you flow its dreaming onto the page. David Lynch says, ideas are like fish. If you want to catch little fish, you can stay in the shallow water. But if you want to catch big fish, you've got to go down deeper. Down deep, the fish are more powerful and more pure. They're huge and abstract, and they're very beautiful. The beautiful thing is that when you catch one fish that you love, even if it's a little fish, a fragment of an idea, that fish will draw in other fish and they'll hook onto it. Then you're on your way. Soon there are more and more fragments and the whole thing emerges, but it starts with desire. This is from Barbara Eulands, If You Want to Write. In music and playing the piano, sometimes you are playing at a thing and sometimes you are playing in a thing. When you are playing at it, you crescendo and diminish, following all the signs. Now it's time to get louder, you read on the score, and so you make it louder and louder. Look out, here's pianissimo, so you dutifully do that. But this is intellectual and external. Only when you are playing in a thing do people listen and hear you and are moved. It is because you are moved, because a queer and wonderful experience has taken place, and the music, Mozart or Bach or whatever it is, suddenly is yourself, your voice, and your eloquence. John Gardner describes this experience that I'm getting at. An invisible wall seems to fall away, and the writer moves surely and easily from one kind of reality into another. Every writer has experienced at least moments of this strange, magical state, these queer moments, sometimes thrilling, sometimes just strange, moments setting off an altered state, a brief sense of escape from the ordinary time and space. This type of moment, he says, these are the soul of art. Also by Stephen Herod Buhner. All writers have to develop an exquisite sensitivity to the subtleties of their interior responses when feeling the meanings that touch them. So we've been sharing a little bit of this in the chat, but how is the act of writing a song similar to having a dream? I would love if you all could share some of your responses. How is the act of writing a song similar to having a dream? For me, when I'm having dreams, I'm not a lucid dreamer, so I'm not in control of what is happening in my dreams. I feel as though I'm in an emotional process that is happening that I am part of, but I'm not controlling it. So there's this relationship between me and the dream where I feel as though I'm in it and it's unfolding. Julie says, no idea where either come from. Isn't it amazing? It's magic. When you sit down to write, there's nothing. And then when you've written something, there's something. Like you're just creating out of thin air. Carter says, sometimes I feel like it's happening to me instead of creating it. Exactly. And when you're in a dream, the most important thing is the emotional intensity of what you're experiencing. You're usually in a very, very rich emotional state. Caleb says, when you're in flow, you don't really control what you're making as allowing it. Yes, you're a conduit. Oh, conduit. Great, great, great word. James says it's storytelling, but it's not storytelling in a literal sense. It's much more postmodern. Timeline concepts, narratives come from everywhere, memory, collective unconscious, sensory experience everywhere, completely. Jesse says it doesn't feel real while I'm writing, and neither do my dreams for the most part. Wonderful. So, okay. I want to just do a 5-minute exercise. Class will run 5 minutes over today. But I want everyone here to just close your eyes, and I'm going to lead you through just a very brief meditation to start to access this part of you. And there will be 3 different meditations released this week. So if this technique appeals to you at all, there will be much, much more fun for you on the Discord this week. So just close your eyes and take a deep breath and begin to separate from the day that you've been having up until this moment. And just notice the top of your head, relax the top of your head. You can imagine that there is water pouring down on you or some kind of delicious, warm, syrupy liquid. Just imagine it going all the way down your body. So this relaxing quality of being spreads from your head down to your shoulders, to your arms, to your torso. If you want to wiggle around a little bit, you're more than welcome. So down to your torso, your knees, and your feet. And just imagine your whole body kind of entering this state of relaxation. Now, I want you to imagine that you're in a room that is very important to you. It could be a place where you grew up. It could be a historical place you've always been curious about entering. It could be a place, just a room that you saw that really struck you. Just center yourself in a room and now look around and start to notice the sensory details. So what do you see here? What is the feeling of the room? What is the touch of the room like? What is the temperature on your skin? Are there any smells? Are there any tastes in the air? And also notice if there are any sounds. Just really plant yourself here. And you can imagine kind of like you are in a dream right now. You're in a dream where anything is possible. Anyone could walk in the room right now. And you're in this unfolding where you're just a conduit for this experience that's going to happen next. So now look down and notice that there is a music player in this room. And it can be whatever kind of music player you like. It could be a cassette player. It could be an old school stereo. It could be a hi-fi system with vinyl records. It could be an old-fashioned Victrola. Just look down and see that there's a musical device in this room. And now I want you to just put one foot in front of the other, walk towards the device, and look and notice that the music in there is actually your record. And you can smile and laugh a little bit about this if you want to, but you're looking at your record. And you're about to press play. And when you do press play, what you're going to hear is a song that you have not yet written for your record. But it is the most beautiful, potent, powerful song you could possibly imagine writing. So what you are about to hear has not yet been written, but it will be written by the end of this class. So I want you to reach down now and press play. And now just sit back and listen to what you hear. What is the soundscape? What is the quality of the song, the tempo of the song? How does your voice sound? And what are you singing about? And just spend 1 minute now listening and see if anything comes to you about this most beautiful, most potent, most powerful song you've written. So just breathe and listen for about 1 minute. If you wound up with any piece of melody, just take a moment right now to record it. Okay. So I'm so curious in the chat, did anyone hear something? Like, were you able to kind of imagine the textures or the lyrics or what kind of tempo there would be? Were you able? I know this is just like a fantasy, it's just kind of a little game. Jesse, yes, I was shocked. Yes. Okay. I did too, even if I was leading it. Maya, I did, but strangely, it was rock-like. So interesting, because that is so different than the couple songs you played me the other day, Maya. That's fascinating. Dasha, I was able to hear it. Wow, tempo and instrumentation and wild lyrics. Oh, that's awesome. Oh yeah, Maya says, when that's not at all what I'm used to writing. Okay, wonderful. Julie said, I think I wrote my whole experimental song. Okay, so this is also just we did this so quickly. This is a five-minute exercise. So I'm going to share a number of other exercises. Oh, this is incredible. Carrie says, not a room, but the place I chose was the forest where my dog, cat, and I walk all the time. I find peace and serenity. It was a calm little choppy piano. Amazing. Carter, I was hearing pretty full production on it. Super cool. Okay. So this is incredible because it shows you how to access this. This is the dreamer. This is the part of your mind that imagines, the part of your mind that can play. You can do this whether or not you are at your instruments, whether or not you're in the office. James is at LAX, or I think at LAX, you can do it there. If you can like sing a song in your mind, you are writing it. So just, this is an incredible tool for us to use as a source of discovery. So I want to get us into the hot seats, but homework this week. Focus your creative energy on the missing piece song. And some of you, it seems like some of you just heard it right now, which is amazing. Also experiment with the two new techniques, repurposing the chorus lyric and doing two voices responding. Oh, James is on the 105, but did have an idea. Okay, fantastic. 3, watch the supplementary videos this week. I finally have everything to make the 2 videos I was hoping to share last week. So we'll have the Beatles video, the groove video, and then I'm going to share 3 meditations. And then please share, if you can, a piece of in-progress work on the jukebox. So that's a lot. Gosh, okay, I'm sorry I went a few minutes over, but we have time for everyone. And yeah, let's move into hot seats. Oh, Nathaniel, damn, heard something that brought me to tears, had to drop the Zoom call to make a voice memo. Yes. Okay, now I'm wondering if I should be doing this in week 1. You all can hear these things in your head. This is incredible. This is really incredible. Also, if you are one of the people in the group who didn't necessarily hear anything, there's no problem. Different exercises work differently for different people. Jesse, it felt so much better than what I've been trying to do. So that is you writing, just you writing in your mind. Writing in your mind, you can make it real. It might be a little bit slower, but I promise you, if you can hear it, you can make it. Okay. Wow. This is so exciting. All right. So let's move in to Nathaniel. I don't usually feel anything with exercises like this. I don't know why, but this really worked. It is because I am a psychic mind controller, opening up all your minds to the unwritten songs of all of history. That deserves a wave. Okay. So AHMED, you will have, your hot seat will begin. Can you share your pronoun with us, by the way?
Yeah, he, him.
Okay.
Yeah. Should I just start talking?
Yeah, so you've seen a couple hot seats at this point. It can be whatever you want it to be. You can share as much or as little. We can ask for feedback from the group. I know we emailed a little bit, so whatever feels good to you. And you can also share your screen if you want me to make you the host.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll play some demos for you guys.
Awesome. Okay, great.
Okay. Let me start sharing. Hold on. I got to give it permission, apparently. But me as a person, who I am as an artist, quit and reopen. Oh no, it's giving me a error. Do you think you could play it on your side, Greta?
Yeah, sure. Would you prefer to email it to me, or what would you like to do?
Yeah, I'll send you a link to my SoundCloud account.
Perfect.
If you try to reshare, it usually prompts you to quit and reopen, but it's usually lying.
Is it?
Usually.
Okay. Oh, you're right. You're right.
Hell yeah.
Caleb, I feel like you have saved the day like 5 times with text.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I do IT for real estate agents. It happens a lot.
I work in IT too. I should have known. Okay, so do I need to do anything to share audio?
So when to share your screen, actually maybe cancel this out real quick. Just do unshare. When you go to share your screen, there's a tiny little thing to check that says, yeah, share audio.
Okay.
By the way, we are all completely with you in this Zoom transition moment because everyone knows.
Yeah.
Yes, there we go. Awesome.
There you go. Okay. Hold on. Okay. I think it should be sharing my audio and screen. Okay, so I started music when I was like 17. I had no idea what music was or guitar. And I just started to learn, and eventually I started to write music, and I was really passionate about it. I wanted to do it in college, but I wasn't quite good enough. So I just kept working and working. And then when I saw your class, I was like, okay, I have to take this and see where this takes me. And so I have 3 demos, if it'll let me scroll down. And my album concept is cities, planes, trains, and my early 20s.
Nice.
So it's all about like songs about either being lost, trying to find love, and a lot to do with highways and traveling. So I have 3 demos here for you. And fun fact, so I'm the one we're going to start with, Frisco. I was thinking of this song, or well, writing it while I was missing the 3rd class.
Always
So
a good reason to miss
I
class.
was staying productive. I was staying productive, and this picture is taken in San Francisco. So I'll play it for you guys. You guys hear it?
Yes, we can hear it. Thanks.
Thought of you when I close my eyes, driving over the big red.
Hold on, I realized I can show you guys the lyrics too.
Traveling southbound on the 101, trying to get to where I saw you last. And I asked around, have you seen this girl? She's got eyes like a demon, and words like a fire-breathing dragon. Oh, thought of you before you opened your eyes, before you said hello or goodbye. Now I'm traveling across these blue skies, trying to get to where I saw you last. And I asked around, have you seen this girl? She's got eyes like a demon, and words like a fire-breathing dragon. Oh, so I hope you are thinking of me, your hospital gown and sterile sheets. I don't want you to go. I can't stand to leave you alone. People are screaming at me, nothing they say is what I need. The coastline is eroding away, the sky turns to gray.
Wow. That is so awesome. Are you able to see the chat responses?
No, not yet.
Right. Okay, so if you're not, so I'll just kind of summarize.
Yeah.
The reaction is like, just what an incredible voice and delivery and eyes like a demon. Wow, these lyrics are incredible. I love the way you married the melody to the lyric and the line, the coastline's eroding away. The way your voice kind of fades out at the end of that phrase is so beautiful. And everyone, a lot of people were commenting just how strong the guitar is and how strong the chord changes are. Jesse said Radiohead vibes to me completely, and just the rareness, or I mean the rawness and the bareness of it. And
Mhm.
I was saying this is such a great example of the groove carrying the song. Like I feel like you have a whole band in your guitar. You know, I can hear what the drummer would be playing. I can hear
Mhm.
what the bass player would be doing. Like you're just doing so much with one instrument. It's incredible.
Thank you. It's because I'm a solo act. I have to make up for it all. But
Yes. Have you always been a solo act?
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
awesome.
But so this was an iPhone demo, and I tried to record it on GarageBand, and so these are actually the final lyrics, but this iPhone demo ended up sounding a lot better than really anything I was recording. Um, but yeah, thank you guys. I want to show you guys one more song. Uh, So this one's called 1984. I don't know if you guys are fans of Haruki Murakami, but
Oh,
there's a book he wrote called IQ 94 or 84. And the concept of being under the same skies to see your lover was really like kind of cute to me. And this is a demo from like a year ago, but I revisited it and like basically tried to bring it back to life. So here's that song.
I've been city to city and trains to place. Nowhere do I find a face like yours. I've been bar to bar, tumbler to the drain, laying in my own filth, mama. What have I become without you to hold me down? Wandering streets after dark. Every night I succumb to those same dreams. Blown with your hand clenched into mine. So I hope you'll find me look up into the sky at the same time. Same skies when I look up from the street. My drunken despair, dispelled by the hope invested deep into my bones. Under these lonely cities.
wow, that is so beautiful. Everyone wants to know your guitar secrets. Everyone wants to know your guitar secrets. How are you doing this? How are how are you like hitting the right bass notes at the right time? Nobody's missing other instruments.
It's like a bum diddly. It's with your hands, and so I'm an open dadgad, and then
Uh-huh.
the capo's on the third fret. And so I'm just doing E minor, like an E minor shape, and then pulling it up. So it's technically E minor when you play it at like the open position, and
Mhm.
then you pull it up to like a G. So it's basically E minor to G if we're talking in terms of the key of G. So it's just that back and forth. And then the other stuff I don't know, I guess. I was like, ooh, this sounds pretty.
Wow. Yeah, it's so beautiful. It feels so solid. And yeah, some people are saying they're getting different reminders. The Dodos, Merrick Long's guitar playing, I love him. Bright Eyes. There were a couple other cool references earlier. I'm trying to remember. Oh, tidbits of Simon and Garfunkel on the last song. So cool. I mean, just what an array of influences. What would you say your influences were for this?
Okay. For this song in particular, I actually am a big like actually Death Cab for Cutie fan.
Nice.
And if you listen to a lot of Ben Gibbard's solo work, you can kind of hear the fingerstyle thing I'm doing, where it hits the pick and chuck. And I actually learned that from learning all their songs. And then another artist that I really like is Richard Edwards of Marco and the Nuclear So-and-Sos. I don't know how many people know of them, but he is amazing. His voice and guitar playing and like the effortlessness at which he delivers like bombastic, like mind-blowing melodies is ridiculous. And every time I listen to his music, I'm like, I gotta go right now.
Oh, amazing. Wow, it's so special to have an artist like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, those are the two. Do we have time for one more or no?
Oh my gosh, yeah, you have 15 minutes left.
Oh heck yeah.
You
Okay.
can take as much time as you want. I don't have that much, so
Okay. Well, this is my last demo that I have, and then maybe I'll ask you guys for like feedback on this song actually in particular because um it's it's kind of like it's a sleepy song, but I'll play it for you guys. And I don't know how good the recording is, so here it is.
Lonely afternoon once made for two, laying upside my twin sizes, play space for two. Lonely afternoon spent laying around with you, playing with your long hair still naked in underwear. So I've gotta sing a song to you. All the things I'd rather do now that I'm without you. All the things I'll never do now that I'm without you. Pacing up the freeways, just looking for places for you to point and wait. The winds are never tame. So I've gotta sing the song to you. Now all the things I'd rather do now that I'm without you. All the things I'll never do now that I'm without you. All the things I'll never do besides laying bed beside you.
let me read you some of the responses. This is so awesome. Connor says that this is so pretty. The imagery is so strong. Dasha said such a resonant feeling. Caleb said, now that you mentioned Margot and the nuclear solos, so-and-so's, I can hear it. You hit the vibe so well, but more hopeful feeling. Your voice is so pure and calming, Carrie said. I agree with the word pure. You don't have affectation in the way you sing, which is my favorite kind of voice. Like it just feels like you. It's so awesome. And then also there's a number of comments about how this really feels perfectly paced. Like it feels like it feels like a lonely afternoon. The song's really done it. The one thing I was really noticing is just how subtle a chorus can be and still be so effective. Like when you went I've got to sing this song to you and you go to that second chord, whatever that chord is, I was just like so satisfied. And it's so subtle, you know, it wasn't like it was so sophisticated and subtle. It wasn't like some huge pop, you know, we're completely changing the game, but it was so satisfying. So that's a good reminder for all of us.
It's a 4 to a 5. It's just it's in the key of A flat, or yeah, A flat. So it's just and because I'm tuned to full step down on my guitar, I just play F to a G with my first finger on the C. So
Awesome. Oh yeah, it's so good. It is so, so good. So I'm curious, like what kind of feedback are you looking for on that?
I just okay, so let me be frank. So I played this actually at an open mic night, and like I don't know, everyone just seemed to be bored and fall asleep. And like as is, also another thing, the compliments on my voice is like heartwarming because I've always been like super insecure about that. So but yeah, everyone just fell asleep and I was like, damn it, what the hell?
Okay, but here's a question. Were you like the last person of the night? Was it
I
too?
was close. I was like the 9 o'clock show, and I guess the show ended at like 11. So yeah, I was almost at the end. But
I think sometimes you also have to take into account like what is the vibe here? What are these people? How are these people feeling? Even
it was a blues cafe, so I mean,
oh
maybe
God.
it was in the wrong place.
I think this is more the right place of like people who just love really great music.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I'm sorry to hear you had that experience. It's yeah, definitely can toughen a person up. Gosh.
It's okay. But
Really
yeah.
good. You just need to find your audience. I agree. Yeah. People also miss, I mean, there was that story about Joseph Bell, the world famous violinist, and he was playing at the subway in New York. Usually it costs $500 to see him play with the symphony orchestra. And he was playing in the subway in New York and everyone was walking by and not even noticing. People just thought he was kind of like, meh, you know, so it really depends on your audience.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do I have much time left? I can
Yes,
share one
yeah, you
more.
have 10 minutes left. Also, Carrie said, I feel so comforted by your voice. It may sound strange, but it makes me feel like I'm not alone completely. Oh, and also Nathaniel, I think Nathaniel accidentally sent this to me, but I'll read this to the group. Yes, I love the natural voice. Open mics are a different kind of crowd. Yes, might not be your kind of people. It's also a space where you can't capture a lot of the intimacy of the song because the iPhone mic does that really well. That's such a good point about being able to really hear it and feel it.
So I have one more song, and it's I didn't even put it on SoundCloud, but it's called Quarter and a Payphone. I wrote it when I moved away from San Jose after college, and I really missed my roommate. So that's what this one's about.
Tell me something I don't know, something let me breathe. Tell me something that you know, something let me see. 'Cause I'm smoking the dust of my last cigarette. voices hidden in the dark of night. They're across the sky so bright. I wouldn't know, lost in my head. So call me when you think me my friend. 'Cause I've been lost in the things in my head, pacing around, circling the sea so red.
Oh my gosh, you ended that one with an exclamation point. Onyx. Wow, that is so awesome. We had in the chat, there was kind of a funny moment when you introduced the coming, like when you went into that part,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I love this melody. And Dasha simultaneously was like, when you go to this melody, and everyone was just like, oh my God, this part of the song, just such a beautiful, so beautiful. Like your intimacy is your superpower. The way
Okay.
songs are recorded, if this were my song, I
Mm.
would keep it as intimate as possible. You know,
Okay.
just your voice and the guitar are leading. If anything else is being added in, it's sort of
Mm.
background. Dasha was also saying this brought up memories of Damien Rice, Destroyer, Badly Drawn Boy. So many cool references. Also, when Dasha said, it sounds like a 12-string guitar at the end where it gets all expansive, I read it as expensive, which I was like, it does sound expensive. It does sound really good.
It's just open D.
Yeah, it's
Um,
awesome. Anyway, I'll send you the chat because there's so many wonderful
oh
responses.
yeah. Do I have time to ask you guys for specific feedback on this?
Yes, of course. Yeah, we have 3
Okay,
minutes
okay.
left.
So one of the things I absolutely that irks me about this is because I could not figure out what to circle, like circling around, pasting a C red. That's so like random. I just wrote that. I don't know what to put there. That's just filler.
Doesn't sound random. Like it
No?
sounds very intentional, and in like the imagery I think can
Mhm.
be interpreted in like so many different
Okay.
ways. Like the color red means so many things. I
Right.
love it personally.
Okay.
Agreed with Crystal.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. And then
Oh,
there's more lyrical like question marks here. Like I really wish I could make this line a lot less cheesy. The sky's so bright. That's silly.
Okay. Are the answers hidden in the dark of the night? We all love that line. Are they written across the skies so bright?
I was
Anyone
trying
else
to like
in the chat have
contrast.
an idea that rhymes there?
Yeah.
Are the answers hidden in the dark of night? Are they written across the skies and lights? Oh, that's
Aha. There
lights.
you go.
James said a day so bright. Alternate, but I really like skies and lights. Yeah.
Skies and lights. That
Skies,
one stuck immediately.
written across the skies and lights. Oh yeah. Oh, that's great. It's funny because Caleb wrote in lights, like skies, I-N lights, but it makes
Skies
sense
and
to do
lights.
skies and lights as well. This
Hmm.
is like telephone.
Oh yes, Jessica.
Oh, are they written across the clouds of white? Says Carrie.
Oh.
I had a question for you, Ahmed. Whenever you were going into the so call me when you think
Yeah.
of me, my friend, have you been going between void and plane whenever you're in there? Because
Yes.
I like the concept of a plane because whenever I could see it in my mind, you were circling around, pacing a sea so red. It's like you're looking out a window and you're seeing like the Red Sea or something. I think that's very lyrically strong and it's very visually strong. And I sense no danger here. I see no problem.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse.
Okay. Yeah, because I have to build this in my own head too, like a lot of times like I'm writing this and like it's verbal, like it's just coming out while I'm strumming this song, you know. And so afterwards I have to visualize what this means. And so whenever I go back to this song, because I wrote this one a while ago, but I keep coming back to it, I always like wonder like what sees am I, what, like I don't understand that scene. Like I see it in my head, but I don't understand what it means in the context. But when you put it in that context, actually that helps me actually visualize it better. And I feel like when I can visualize it better, I can sing it better because it's coming from the heart. And as you said, like the earnestness is my superpower, I guess. So
Yeah, totally. Oh, there's our time. But wow,
okay.
what an amazing share. Yeah, the intimacy, just how intimate your songs are. It's so awesome. Let's see if you could make me the host again. That would be great.
Yes.
Wow, that was such an awesome, just such an awesome share. Yeah, we can do applause from each of our screen. This is your real open mic now. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And I'll send you the chat so you can read everything too afterwards.
Okay.
All right, Connor, are you ready? Maybe slash maybe not. Do you want to share from your screen? Shall I make you the host for your share?
Sure.
Okay, great. You are the host with the most. Oh, can you share your pronoun with the group, please?
He, him.
Great.
Why'd you look at me?
No, I was looking at you. I was like, which one do I choose here?
I think just
It's just the desktop, right?
Yeah.
Open system preferences. Why? Okay.
You gotta give it permission. Remember, you don't have to quit Zoom though.
Share. Share. No. Okay. Where is system preferences?
It's the gray one that looks like a gear.
I'm just getting a bunch of exclamation points when I go to.
Oh, right here.
Oh, there we go.
And also, when you're ready to share your screen, just remember to click the little button that says share audio at the bottom. Maybe you're not there yet.
I am almost there. There we go.
Yep.
Quit and reopen.
Tell it no. It's lying.
Later. Right.
Caleb is here to
There
call.
you go. Yeah.
Yay.
Yes. Okay. Awesome.
Is this?
You can just click open system preferences and it'll go away.
Yeah, this
Thank
And
minute.
just close that.
Okay. Okay. First off, Ahmed, what the hell? Your stuff was so beautiful and amazing. And like the first song I'm showing accidentally has an accidental fart noise that so like I was doing like vocals for it and like just trying to, you know, wing it and get it done. And at one point I did something, you know, was just flat. And so I was like, and then turned the recording off and then thought I erased the vocals and I did, just not that sound. So if you hear it, okay. So I guess I'll just start with Casino Nights. I only have 2 that have audio so far. I'm a bit of a mess. Okay. Can you hear this? You hear that like
Wait, play one more time.
just the like that right there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Lyrics. Nights out of buildings and castles, lights that crave the stars. Out of canyons of chance smoke piercing through the rough terrain. The moonlit touch, the diminishing flames. So let's start. Go on, pretend another little warm you up. What do you got if you don't have your head? Oh, you'd rather be dead than be left unread. The ribbon is loose, splitting in 3 ways, like Don Quixote or Ichabod Crane. You brushed it off with the wave just gone, with the edge of the lake goes like an ugly call. No, you can't. No, you won't. Give it up.
Hey, Connor, wait, will you pause it real quick? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Firstly, like just fucking amazing that when you went up to the higher
Oh,
melody,
thank
my
you.
jaw dropped. But there's a little audio glitch. I think maybe let's have you unshare real quick and
Okay.
reshare. Caleb says, actually, Caleb, will you come on the mic? Because I could hear
Yeah,
the melody perfectly clearly, but the guitar was kind of short circuiting.
we were just hearing your mic picking up your speakers. So you need to reshare and make sure to hit share audio, and then whatever is playing the audio needs to be the same as your system audio.
And
Okay.
if there's any difficulty, Connor, you can also send me this link and I can play it from my computer too.
Okay.
Should we test it again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
try hit and play.
Hold on. I didn't see share audio pop up, but we can
It'll
try
be
that.
in the bottom left-hand corner of the share window when it pops up and it's like desktop. So then choose desktop and it's a tiny, very easy to miss box in the like lower left-hand corner of that same window.
Share sound.
Yeah. Woo.
Okay.
Yay.
Yay.
Right.
Okay, I think go back to the beginning just so we can really hear it all the way through.
Okay. Oh, lyrics.
Nice part of builders and castles, lights desecrate the stars. Part of canyons of chance smoke piercing through the rough terrain. The moonlit touch, the ice diminishing the flames. So let's start. Go on, pretend another lift will warm you up. What do you got if you don't have your head? Oh, you'd rather be dead than be left unread. The ribbon is loose, splitting in three ways. Brick like Don Quixote or Ichabod Crane. You're brushing it off with a wave and a scarf, but the itch only lingers like an obstinate cough. No, you can't. No, you won't give it up. Quids in blank hearts, spin on imposters. You're not entirely done. Weightless, fire at the fables till you're the only one. The field, who holds the reins, who orders you to heal. Mingun, your doppelganger's prowess, no beckons you to run. What do you got if you don't have your head? Oh, you'd rather be dead than be left unread. Foul play is certain if a fault's going paid. Smolder spills through your cups in a velvet brigade. The beauty expands all the feelings you feel, then burn through your skin through that hot plate of steel. But you can't, no you won't give it up. Lady Luck, her figure forms and swells beneath the sun. In search of a remedy, you know she longs for fun. Part of her vanity stripped off the boulevard. Is it a rite of passage or way to fuck shit up? What do you got? What do we got? What do I have to show for? Plotting while pleading to measure up. Glued to the plywood, forever stuck. Pain occupies the room. Your tidal storm. Sleep is far overdue. Please get some rest.
Holy shit, Connor. Can you see the chat, by the way? I know some people have it. Don't. It's okay. If it's not, you'll get a copy of it and I can kind of recite some of it, but just
messages.
Oh,
That's
good
awesome.
Lord. Oh, thank you
yeah,
so
yeah,
much.
don't worry about reading it while you're presenting, but just the reaction is like, holy shit, we can't stop dancing. And also the chorus is just like what Julie said, hello chorus. Like it is just such a strong chorus. Also that line, you'd rather be dead than left unread. To me, that is so iconic. That is like 2020s iconic right there. Yeah, it's just awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I kind of oh my God, I do not know. I feel like my grandpa was computer.
Just here, we'll just go back this way.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking.
I'm Connor's tech support for today.
So you just go back to songs, but yeah, that's it's like something we had like the beginning, like da na 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 na, like written back when I was in high school, and I realized I never did anything with it. I was too embarrassed to write lyrics at the time, and so through the course of our class, I've just been really like having idea. It kind of came in parts, and don't really know what was like writing about. It was just like some lines just felt right, but yeah, still working on the outro because I had just a phone recording that I uploaded. I think on the what's the app thing that we have? Discord, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's our community. Yeah.
That like where the chorus kind of is like but you won't give it up, and then like it repeats and then ends on just like a different chord. So I might do that rather than like the ending I have here. But yeah, anyway, thank you. It's work in progress. And then the other one, that's the only other one that I have like actual recording for here, is Crow in the Grove. So I can play that real quick and go.
Titles are great. Nathaniel was just saying that, and I agree. They're all
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, just the titles are very compelling. Like seeing the titles, I want to listen to them.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I can't wait to read the comments. I'm a slow reader, so I will wait until afterwards. But anyway, thank you very much for the kind words. I'm really tough on I'm really tough on myself, so I really appreciate it. I need like the check-in every once in a while. So thank you. All right, here we go.
Some days I'm not as here as I should be. To close my eyes is to fade with the memories. Please forgive the toll time has took on me. I'll forget your face, not what you've given me. Summer days will take shade under a grove of trees, not knowing a thing about what they meant to me. It's just the way I always imagined it, a love-filled life, no need to examine it. Go on your way, there's no on your way, you are mine. On your way, I'll be okay. On your way, crossing the borderline. Black feather left on the stone, black figurine, heartfelt silence and sunset still in the trees. We came this far to know nothing was certain till you left the car with the lights on their lowest beam. I'll miss you more as you wake from the sweetest dream. We squeezed 3 times, love our rivers return to streams. I'll be there if you're ever in need of me, but it might not look just quite how you remember me. Go on your way, there's no on your way, you are mine. On your way, you are mine.
hear my trumpet blows.
Yeah,
How
that one was a little
the
bit
hell
wobblier, but
are there
there's
that
takes in.
how the hell are there that many hooks in one song? It just kept growing and growing.
I mean, it like so I did the vocals, I did like the guitar and vocals first, and like you can kind of hear me giving up towards the end. It didn't sound that pretty until Crystal came in like and dubbed, and harmonized and added things, and it really kind of lifted. And also our friend Alex's drums, and then like our other friend John, like he added the keyboard like do, which I absolutely love. But yeah, it's thank you. It's one that I'm proud of, because it, instead of pulling from something like old, like 14 years ago, this all kind of came in one sitting, like like a few months ago. So which is nice, because like there's been a big gap since I've been like really sitting down and like writing songs, and there's always that. I mean, I don't know if everyone, and I'm sure you guys feel that too, when there's a big gap, you're like, am I still like creative enough to write something? So to actually be able to do it is it, yeah, I don't know, it helps with like breaking those mental limitations you can put on yourself. But yeah, it's also one I have, idea of actually what I'm writing about. It's just a lot of just death and like dying in our family recently, and just kind of, things like Alzheimer's and stuff being, you know, prevalent. And it's just kind of that talking also about like the fear of developing something, like early onset of uh Alzheimer's or dementia or something. And so kind of putting that into a song. But yeah.
That's what I somehow this song is so joyous. Julie used the word glorious pop, which I totally agree with. I almost like I was so caught in the melody. I almost didn't like digest the lyrics yet. But it's really interesting. Firstly, I'm sorry that you're navigating that in your family. That's really difficult. But it's also amazing to be able to transform it into something joyful like this. That's so wild to be able to do.
Yeah, I mean the concept was depressing enough. I wanted to like like, yeah, I don't want to make like a sad sounding song if I'm gonna do that. So and
Yeah. Oh, sorry, just now that lyric, as you wake from the sweetest dream, squeeze 3 times, love, all rivers return to streams. Oh, now like contextualizing it that way, that is really beautiful and heartbreaking.
oh, thank you.
The, the response, a lot of people just love how much it builds and builds, like so much momentum, so much drive. When the synths came in, it was really satisfying. The juxtaposition of the kind of more like the wordier, more syncopated rhythmic verses with the held out chorus notes is such a good match. And yeah, it just, there's a lot of like, holy crap reactions, because it just kept going. It didn't disappoint at all. It was amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking to just continue like building on it and kind of adding more to it. So yeah, it's a good start. I'm proud of it, but thank you.
And
Uh,
what do you release these under, or like what's your band name or your personal name?
Oh, I have not come up with that yet. We just have like I was thinking of a default name, and we came up with the Rat Jeans, but I'm probably gonna have to find something better. I don't know. I haven't uploaded it to anything. I haven't came up with an idea, and I don't know whether I'm gonna want to put it into like my own stuff or have it be like a collective kind of thing. So to be continued, but when I find out, I can put that on Discord.
Okay, and that temp name was Rat Jeans, is that correct?
Rat Jeans. It was just like the most recent like meme that's been stuck in our head. It's what's the Smashing Pumpkins song?
Oh yeah, it's like,
Rat in
so
the Cage. Yeah.
despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. We saw a meme that was, despite all my beans, I'm still just a rat in some jeans. So that was the origin story.
It might stick. We'll see.
Ahmed is saying you can't change it.
know if I want to.
I would tell my friends about a band called the Rat Jeans for sure.
I don't know if I'm gonna add the. I just feel like it just sounds far more abrupt. You're like ratching. So
Rat Jeans. Bless you. No, that's my band name. Rat Jeans. Rat Jeans.
I mean that fits like because I have a second kind of album thing that I don't want to focus on that right now, but just about like a tadpole and then I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's very like not serious like all these songs seem to be. So I mean that would very much like make sense. Like, oh yeah, this makes sense. The band's called Riot Jeans.
Yeah,
So-
Dasha said you should call it Rat Jeans and include more fart sounds, please, and thank you. Jesse says assless rat jeans, which is playing on Carrie's ashless chaps. JK rat jeans is perfect.
Yes, that's Riot Jeans.
Rat
Okay.
jeans could play with toe socks, you know?
Mm-hmm. We got ideas. We
Yeah.
got it. So yeah, and then the rest I have just, some lyric. I mean, I have music that I haven't uploaded, but like, I have lyrics, I just haven't put things together yet. I don't know if you guys want to choose between these three.
Let's see. My gut is waxing fantastic. That looks really fun.
Yeah.
But any of them you want to play. So what kind of feedback are you looking for on this one?
I was too busy trying to get everything uploaded to really stop and see what I'm trying to get out of this. I think that I'm kind of, my ADHD shows lyric writing where like I'm all over the place a lot of times and like have like maybe trying to fit too many ideas into one song instead of keep it direct. So yeah, I guess it's like the feedback would be like, does this sound like a coherent song, or if it sounds, like some of this is one song, some of this might be another, and also like any just oh hey, I think this line might sound, you can use this word in this place if I'm using too many of the same word or something. Any criticism, I'm not gonna get offended. I don't. I'm like open to anything really. Yeah. So
Great. Yeah, great to know. So we can point out what we like or just kind of what it reminds us of, or yeah, just any feedback.
yeah, I should have uploaded the music for this because it's I did not. I just have lyrics. I think I can actually if the audio is, hold on, maybe I can. Music stuff.
So far, we've done a great job. None of the hot seats have accidentally shared anything terribly embarrassing.
I know. I was like, dude, is anything gonna pop up? Like, I remember.
Greatest fear is like my messages coming up with some like horrible joke from a friend or something. I know. Dasha says, "Don't jinx it." Right? I know. I shouldn't speak too soon. We still have 6 weeks left.
That happened. That happened to me in high school because me and my brother would use Guitar Pro for tablature to write songs, and it just kind of sounded like a video game. You put tablature down and it show like what what it would sound like kind of thing, so you can like create songs that way. It's really nice. It's really nice when you learn how to do it, but the problem is that my computer kept kicking it out, like booting me out, so I'd have to continue to like resave with a different name, and so like it would get I would get angry. Like we had some like metal song called like Pirates and Demons, and then it kept kicking me out, and then at one point I'm just like pirates and then capital letters like fuck, and I forgot that it was on the same flash drive as my project, and like I was sharing a screen, and so there's all these names like with just a lot of curse words and stuff like that. It was just because I was getting angry because I was getting kicked out, having to resave the song as a different name. And Yeah, my teacher gave me a D. I don't
Oh,
know.
damn.
Yeah,
Bummer.
but anyway, sorry. Here we go. I think this is the music. I don't. That's all I got so far. On the music, but and then yeah, this is pretty much the lyrics. It just
Wow.
stops.
We're obsessed with the sound of the guitar and that track. And also just seeing the words with that music, it feels so unified. Like it just feels,
Really?
yeah, evolution, development, human adaptation. Like I could see almost like a Brave New World scene from the music. It totally makes sense.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's so cool. Also, we're curious, maybe you could share in the Discord, just how did you get that sound? Like what pedals are on there and what the chords are. Everyone is obsessed.
Oh, I gotta look back. It was like on it was like plugins or something. I gotta see. Hopefully, I still have it. I am terrible at writing, keeping note of that stuff. That's where like recently we just went to Chicago Music Exchange and got actually like got an amp and some pedals and stuff because like we just want to go analog. Even though there's so many possibilities with plugins, but like I feel overwhelmed by them, and I think you were talking about like one of our classes about like using limitation as a tool. And I don't know, I think maybe that's where the thought came where it's like if we just kind of collect a few pedals, collect a few sounds, try to get sounds out of that, and also to become familiar with the instruments because I'm never going to become familiar with like 1,000 pedals of this plugin, with this software and 1,000 amps. Like I just get lost in it and don't get anything done. So I can look back and try to figure out what I. It might have been like on something on Amplitude, I think, but I'll see. But yeah, it's that one's older one somewhere during the beginning of the pandemic. I came up with it, but with the lyrics are relatively recent. Yeah, thank you. I was unsure whether I was capturing the vibe of the music with the lyrics, but yeah.
I'm curious, how did you pick the title, Waxing Fantastic?
Oh, that was our friend Alex. We're back when we were still smoking cigarettes. We had a little cigarette break when we are working on one of your songs, or our friend John's Lucky the Cat. It's his band, like, well, his like
It's like a collective. Like we
Collective.
all kind of like contribute to it, but
Yeah.
it's his project that we've been like helping with.
Yeah, our friend, we're just out having like cigarettes, and our friends just like, what's a phrase I love? That's from like the early to the 20th century. And we're like, what? He's like, waxing fantastic, and I'm like, I've never heard that, and I looked it up and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I think he thought it was a word, or like a phrase to be like, that's waxing fantastic, and it just was the funniest thing. I'm like, where'd you like, where'd you hear this? And like, also he was so confident with it. He's like, no, it's a thing. And like I could not find anywhere on the internet waxing fantastic, yet it does very much sound like an old like an old-timey phrase for something being great. So I'm just like, that is a title right there for something.
I think, yeah, that's so cool. He probably meant to say waxing poetic, but oh yeah,
that was it. Yeah.
I love waxing fantastic. That's so cool. Wow, that's awesome. That's going to be great. I'm so excited to hear how you're singing it. It was so neat to hear the track and see the lyrics. It'd be so cool if you finish this by the end of the workshop to share it on the Discord, or really whenever the Discord will live. The Discord would live far beyond this class.
I'm probably gonna have it sounds like a song that like the lyrics should be kind of coded in reverb or maybe even a little distortion, but yeah, we'll see. And I don't know, where am I with time?
Yeah, we have just about 3 minutes left for your share. So if there's something else you want a quick feedback on, we could do that.
Yeah, I don't. Three Moon Radio, I don't really have anything musically to share. I have no idea what I'm writing here.
Oh, but you could also, the Mad Hatter, do you have those lyrics? Those lyrics were so great. I know I heard them in the study hall, but that might be kind of fun to read to everyone.
Yeah, there is like music to it. I just haven't recorded it and like kind of a rhythm of how some of the lyrics go. But anyway, yeah, I can slowly kind of scroll down.
Why don't you read it for us, would you? Sorry.
Okay, sure.
It's a live performance. We like to be read too.
Mad Hatter, silently weeping, make us laugh. What if you're notified, left-handed, you're picking up your hat and sing? Oh, sorry, I forgot to write. This is something that some of the lyrics were co-wrote with my brother back in the day. I need to give him credit here because I don't want to be like, I wrote all this, but he wrote some of these lines. So Mad Hatter, silently weeping, make us laugh. What if you're notified, left-handed, you're picking up your hat and sing? Pay no heed to the silent weeping, make us laugh. What if you're notified? They're calling. Mad Hatter, knowing it's just a part of the show. Cold counter cup, the tea has been warmer than this. Embrace the debt of your fixed persona, price for the pain, laugh, dance, shout, sing. Mad Hatter, sleep much lately, night or day, what if you're notified? Tell us, is a life not lived still justified? And you're always waiting through, I think there's supposed to be an and right there. And all-pervading subconscious field of masquerading. Maestros of malice that wave you in without a care, just sit and spin. That was your line right there. It's fantastic. You can't remove the callous from a generation, but you can't help but try. As good intentions form, but I just kind of stopped there because that was like things I was adding last night. So that's not like the end of the song. It's just I'm just trying to finish it.
Yeah. I love this. And you were saying in the study hall that some of it's about like the darkness that comedians experience.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I thought that was so interesting to hear alongside the song.
Yeah, it's expanded a bit kind of as I've come back to it because it was something like started back in like 2014, or I was still like creating things that were more like prog metalish rock, and so like my interest in my like what I like to create has changed since then. But also like with the content, I think before it was like comedians, and now I feel like in general it's just the history of management and entertainment, because like over the years I've heard stories of like growing up, it's like, oh, this musician died from doing drugs because they were partying too hard. And then as I'm growing up, it's like, no, they were being like abused by their managers. And I mean, like just countless stories from like, I mean, one of them recently is like it's like John Bonham, I think is the drummer for Led Zeppelin. Like he had to be like dragged out of his house kicking and screaming to go on tour, and they lied to him saying it was going to be a few weeks. It ended up being like 6 months or something, and he drank himself to death during it. And it's just like, oh yeah, that's different from like the it's just partying, like Jimi Hendrix went on tour, like they had shows every day for like 3 years, and then the manager fucked off, took all the money and went off to South America, and nothing, no repercussions. So like, just so many stories of, it's like, it's not the drugs, it's the toxic atmosphere.
Yeah,
And
right.
and you have some, and it's just sad to see someone that has some skill or connection to creativity just be um I guess used and abused by our form of, I guess, capitalism and just how things work. But yeah, so it's kind of a more broader thing, but yeah, I'm just trying to condense it all and have a song and then work with it. But thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That makes more sense too. The sleep much lately, night or day. What if you're notified? Tell us, is a life not lived still justified? Yeah. Oh, Caleb just said capitalism, cannibalism. I've never seen that phrase, but yeah, I think about that. I think about that all the time, just how hard touring is on musicians' bodies, and no one talks about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like we were just reading articles about funny, like the dodos got mentioned in the chat earlier, but we were just reading about how Merrick Long's like arthritis has really like impacted, his ability to play, and just thinking about how like, something that you love so much can also like destroy parts of you, and like the impermanence of that too. So there's like, I personally, like, I love the story, like the narrative of this song. I think it's like really, really awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to stay on the topic for too long, but like the most like infuriating one for me recently is like learning like Mama Cass. I grew up thinking, oh, she died choking on a ham sandwich, that was just her manager who spread that once she died, because it's fat phobic bullshit. She died during like, because of like this like really just rigorous weight loss kind of shit, because she was forced to, being forced to lose weight because that was how things were. So it wasn't, it was her doing exactly what she was told that ultimately killed her.
Oh,
And
that's sad.
even to this day, people are like, oh, she died choking on a ham sandwich. It's just so like, ugh, gross.
Oh, wow. Where did you read this, or is this in a documentary or something?
I can find it. I was in an article somewhere. I am very terrible at citing my sources.
Yeah, where are your sources, man?
Oh, that's okay. I mean, I'm not grilling you. I mean, that's a very common thing in, I mean, sadly, like for the death story to be manipulated in some way. And that's super, yeah.
I'll find it, put it on the
Discord.
Thank you, the Discord.
What is it called? Well, thank you so much. That was such an incredible share. Both of you today were such awesome shares. Maybe Connor, if you would be willing to turn the host back to me, I can bring us back into the gallery just to sign off. Sorry, I know we went a little overtime today. So good seeing you all. So I was thinking for study hall this week of doing, so US time, Tuesday night, Wednesday daytime, Thursday night at our usual time. And then if there's other times beyond that, if anyone wants to host one tomorrow or Monday, I love that you all are putting them together. I mean, the room is available for that reason. So if anyone wants to, but otherwise I thought it would be cool to kind of do middle of the week, like wham, bam, 3 in a row. And I'll send that out now. And anyone else have questions about today? Okay, there's going to be a lot on the Discord because we'll have the 2 videos I wanted to post last week, plus the meditations, plus some writing prompts. I mean, there's so much coming out this week, so just keep an eye on the Discord. And yeah, I'll see you either at study hall or next week. Have a great day, everyone. Great to see you. Bye.